Hey guys! Welcome to Couple. Please like and subscribe if you like the video. When Senator Claire McCaskill began to choke in a Democratic caucus lunch in June, Senator Bill Nelson stepped in to perform the Heimlich maneuver. The Florida senator was unable to dislodge the food. That's when West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin stepped in. He broke one of McCaskill's ribs, but he got the job done. Well, I gave her 2 of them. And it was really stuck. Joe Manchin reached over, grabbed her, did about 5 of these, Nelson explained later, demonstratively acting out his attempts. He's taller, but he went at it really hard to the point he really picked her up. Now Democrats worry Nelson is the one who might need assistance. Nelson's quick response at a fraught moment demonstrates his bona fides as a military veteran and longtime public servant. But his struggles on the Florida campaign trail mirror his difficulties helping McCaskill. Consider, Nelson slightly trails Governor Rick Scott, even though President Donald Trump barely carried Florida, while Manchin is leading in a state Trump won by 42 points. Privately, a number of Democratic senators have offered their unsolicited view that Nelson is in for a reckoning on Election Day, which would cost Democrats any hope of winning back the Senate. Nelson is a classic old-school senator who keeps his head down and does his work, which is effective in the Capitol but less so in a Trump-era campaign in the most expensive battleground state. He's being vastly outspent, and there's concern in Florida the National Party might cut him loose if a loss looks certain in the expensive Sunshine State. And Florida Democrats fret that the low-key third-term senator has not been visible enough while Scott is seemingly everywhere. We have no contact with the U.S. Senator until it's an election year, and that's a problem, said Tangela Sears, a Miami anti-violence activist and campaign surrogate for the Democratic Party's only African-American candidate for governor, Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gillum. I don't need your attention when you need my vote. I need your attention to put a plan together to move my community forward. It's been a month since Nelson led a public poll. Private polling, even surveys conducted by Democrats, also show Nelson behind Scott. Still, Washington Democrats say they are winning. And party leaders are voicing confidence in Nelson and the favorable political climate for Democrats as well as what they see as Scott's baggage. Despite Rick Scott's enormous wealth, we have never doubted that Senator Nelson would win. Even after Scott has spent tens of millions on false attack ads, Nelson is still in a very strong position, said Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, DNY. But Republicans are defining the 75-year-old Nelson as anything but strong. They're mocking him as past his prime, an attack Nelson's campaign calls as ageist as it is inaccurate. And Republicans have relentlessly criticized Nelson for asserting some Florida counties' voter registration systems have been penetrated by Russia, a claim he hasn't backed up. Scott's campaign released a web ad last week mocking Nelson as confused. Nelson looks old and tired, David McIntosh, who heads the Conservative Club for Growth, said, summing up the Republican message. In contrast to the worries Democrats have about Nelson, Republicans are effusive about Scott. The governor is coming on like gangbusters, said Senate Majority Whip John Cornyn of Texas. He's run a very aggressive, early campaign and maybe surprised a few people.